hoping it hits you in the head.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This scene of ours. Jeff, how are you?
Good.
Good. Edwin is absent again today. He did not have a note, so we're gonna be on the lookout for him. We're gonna give him probably send a letter home or something like that for cutting school again. Make sure you follow us on all our social media. The congresses are coming up. We're gonna be putting out all our announcements, our lineups, and our artists, our concert series for the New York Congress. Jeff, are you good?
I'm good.
We have a great guest today, and I'm very excited about this particular guest because number one, she's an OG in our game. There's a lot of thug in her. Trust me. You don't. People don't know
seen that side.
Oh, trust me, bro. Like that's that whole Jersey. There's this Jersey tigueraje that is really special. We got a little bit of it when Ismael was here, but what I'm noticing is universal. They're all like thugs in New Jersey, which is interesting. She's producing an event with her husband now, right? MDN Salsa Congress, which
International.
Excuse me. They run probably the biggest studio in the tri-state area. Is that fair to say? We're gonna ask about that. None other than our good friend Diana.
Hi.
You carry your last name and your husband's name, right?
Yes.
You hyphenate Osorio Nieves.
Yes.
All right, nice. Yes. I'm excited. How you doing?
I'm good.
You ready?
I'm
Don't
gonna
be
say-
nervous.
Okay, so I'm gonna start off the bat. I'm gonna say one thing about you is that you're super A-type personality.
Yo, word.
And you know what? Like, kind of messes me up. How soft she enters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the smile.
It's like, yeah, no. So we're not gonna be doing that because, yeah. And then she'll go, yeah, fuck that, no. So it's like, wait
It's
a minute,
true.
are you nice or are you like?
No,
right?
you know, it's crazy because
confusing.
her and I had that conversation at Summit. I was like, yo, what's going on with your event? You know, the usual, oh, it's going good. We're all right. And I'm like, so are you ready to go? Oh, yeah. We changed a lot of stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I ain't paying for no motherfucking vacations no more. I was like,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
And I totally get that. And you know what the problem is? People don't understand that until they do their own event. But I totally understand where you're coming from. So we're going to, before we get into you, we are drinking today. This was a special request from Diana. Okay, guys, this is what she wanted. So what are we drinking,
We
Diana?
wanted to have a beer together,
Yes,
Yes.
but
I'm very pregnant.
very pregnant.
So we got Heineken Zero. All right.
Yes.
0% alcohol for anyone who's concerned.
Yes, I was wildly concerned.
this is like O'Doul's, right? Like that.
Yeah,
It's
I think
O'Doul's,
so.
man. Remember
Yeah.
that from Dave Chappelle?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
let's
you've
do it.
had this before?
Yes.
Okay. I've never ever had non-alcoholic beer before.
It tastes
looks
exactly
like
like
beer
alcohol.
and it smells like beer.
It definitely does.
You want to pour yours in so we can toast?
Sure.
Okay. It actually
Heineken Zero.
Zero.
Okay.
I can't wait to tell Edwin about this. I'm gonna go. Edwin, you ever had Heineken Zero before? Okay, so cheers.
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 Cheers
Salute.
to a successful event this
To
year.
a successful interview.
Thank you.
To a successful interview. All right, cheers.
Tell me it
Okay.
doesn't taste like beer.
It does. It does taste like beer.
Exactly.
So people actually buy beer that has no alcohol in it? Like, yeah?
Probably like people who are like
Who like beer and don't want to drink.
yeah, maybe they're like recovering or something like that. I guess maybe
I
it's
just
kinda
buy a
like
soda.
a
But
substitute. I don't know how I feel about this though. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like the trickery.
yeah.
Right? The trickery is getting me a little bit. All right, I have a question, Diana. Let's go back to the beginning. Like, first of all, how long have you been dancing, and how did you get into like dance? Period.
Well, I've been dancing for almost 20 years now.
20 years, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and how
Where'd you start?
I started with Marcus when I was 15.
Okay.
20 years ago.
Yep. Almost 20 years. So I'll be 34.
Wait,
I had just turned 15.
Wait, but he didn't have a studio back then, right? Or he was
He
just
used
teaching
to
someone?
teach in the church.
Ah,
a
okay.
church in Belleville. I think he was only there for like a few months before I like officially started.
Yeah.
Times were a lot different back then. It was like inside of a church. You had like 10 people per class. But I actually started by accident because I never liked dancing. Dancing was never my thing. I was into performing arts, but dancing was like embarrassing for me. I was like, no.
Okay.
But I had a family member who actually used me as an excuse to go to the studio. And one day she was like, listen, get dressed. I'm going to take you somewhere. And I'm like, okay, sure. Where are we going? She's like, oh, you'll see. So I remember walking like at least 2 miles with this lady to go to this church. And I'm
Wait,
like, why?
you were
Wait,
walking.
why was-
wait.
Walking.
Yeah.
Why
It
was-
was summertime. It was
Okay, why
summertime.
was this an excuse? What was she hiding?
So, long story short, apparently she used to be a student
Okay.
already,
All right.
right? And she had like a friend that had like a cable TV show, and you know, she would tell people she was a professional dancer or whatever the case was, but she wasn't. Like, you know,
Like Theo Luis.
she was like, starting out, few moves. Anyway, so she had told Marcus, like, I guess, oh, like for a promotion, like, can you do a routine with me and perform at this like cable show? And he's like, okay, sure. So they put their little routine together. Apparently, when they showed up to the place and it was time to perform, she like blanked out, walked off, and he had to, do shines and like dance or whatever.
Yo.
So
Susie.
That is a whole different
Exactly.
level of
yeah.
lying. Wow.
So she left him flat.
This is a family member?
Yes.
Do you want to say who it was?
Hey, girl. What's up?
You liar.
What's up, girl?
Toxic. Oh, toxic.
That's crazy. So, she just went ghost because of what happened, right? So then, long and behold, here comes me, and she's like, "Oh, perfect opportunity." So we end up getting to this church, and I'm like, "Why is she bringing me to a church?" But when we went inside, you hear the salsa playing, and there's Marcus. At the time, he was with Kimberly Rivera, so she
Okay.
was there. And then she was like, "Oh, I came here to bring my niece because she wants to learn how to dance salsa." And I was like, "No, I don't." I'm like, I didn't even know we were coming here. But one of his assistants was like, "Oh, like, do you want to learn how to dance?" And I was like, "I guess I could try or whatever." So I picked it up really quick, and then I just,
Never left.
today.
All
So
right.
I'll tell you a funny story.
Can I just press on two things? First of all, they were walking in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Never heard of that.
And it was like 90 degrees.
Second of all, she said Belleville. I think that's where Corrado Soprano's from.
Corrado.
Right?
Junior.
Junior's
Shout
from
out to-
from Belleville, right? If I'm not mistaken. So just got to throw in a Serrano reference. Jeffrey
So-
and I are huge Soprano
Serrano,
fans.
yeah.
We're huge Soprano
So,
fans.
so I think I'm pretty sure this was 2007, and I'm pretty sure this was Marcus's inaugural social.
In
Right.
07?
I think it was later than that.
No, it was definitely it was probably September of 07 because we had just debuted Carupano in the blue and white,
Yeah.
and we went. It was definitely 07. So we had Latin Madness, and we used to watch it a lot. So we knew who everybody was,
Yeah.
but we hadn't met everybody. So the time I was in SR, and Thomas goes, "Hey, you're gonna go to Jersey. You're gonna perform with Exhibición," and I was the captain. So I'm the one that sends the email, the names, and all that. We had CDs at the time. So at that time, I had just got put on the pro team. So Edwin and I rehearsed with the pro team, and then we left to Jersey. I'm pretty sure it was a Sunday. I want to say it was a Sunday. So we go, we show up, we get there, and I'm like, "Hey," I see Marcus. I'm like, "Hey, man, my name is Jeff. I'm the captain of Exhibición. We're here to perform." He turns around, he looks at me, right? So he looks at me, and he goes, "Bah!" Right in my chest, bro.
Yo.
"What's up, bro?"
He used to
Ric
hit us.
Flair, Ric Flair
He used
chop.
to hit us.
Yo, right in my chest.
He used to hit the three of us.
He goes, "What's up, bro? Yo, I'm really happy to see you." And he gives me a pound, and I'm like, I can't fucking breathe or talk or none of that. So he looks at Edwin, and he does the same thing to Edwin. Pa, So we go, whatever. We did the show. I was like that. He was really excited to see us. I was happy about that. You know what I mean? Because it's like
He's got good
we've
energy,
been watching
Marcus.
the guy. You
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
I mean? And I remember because in Latin Madness they matched him and Sherwin a lot.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
Because they're both taller.
And he was always in the center. So when they did Cuban Fantasy, he was dancing in the center. And when they did Soneros, he was dancing in the
Soneros, they
center
came
too.
out, and the thing is that we knew Sherwin.
Yeah.
So we were like, yo, Sherwin, who's this guy dancing next to you? Because Sherwin, we took classes with. He's like, oh, that's Marcus. So they're like, it's like eventually, like when we competed, I always wanted to dance with Andre. And
Yeah.
people were like, yo, Andre's too green. And I'm like, yeah, but he's over 6 feet tall. So I'm dancing next to Edwin and Christian and all that. I look like a giant, but next to Andre,
Yeah.
we were so I always remember Latin Madness because I remember Sherwin and Marcus were always paired together.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
And he was really good.
and we left and
solo with a
But
split.
he used to hit us. He used to hit me,
he used
Jeff,
to
and
hit
Edwin
us a lot.
really hard.
If there was anybody that
And we
had
used
to
be
claim
like,
abuse
shit,
from,
like,
is Marcus
Yo, we
Nieves.
used to be like, oh, we're gonna go to Jersey. Fuck. Cause like we're men, so we can't really be like not say hi. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like fuck.
And it was just like, yo,
And yo, what's up, baby? Yo, you good?
he was so aggressive.
And he's got these heavy hands too.
Right.
And we would be like, oh man, like, and you can't really
And
kind
we
of
never
say
talked
nothing.
about it. And then one day Edwin goes, yo, I like Marcus, bro. Yo, it hurts to say what's up to him. Like, it really hurts. Like, it's, you know, but it's cool. I know Marcus is like, you know what I mean? Like, it's funny now. Like, I hear it. I saw him that he's a black belt now.
Yo, he's no joke. Yeah, he's legit. He's legit. Yeah, he's legit. He's scary. I make sure I come
So
out.
I remember meeting you like 2010,
Yeah.
2011.
When did you start taking it seriously? Like, when did it start transitioning from you taking classes to you like working to perform? And who was that with? Like, do you remember like the first shows, first company?
Yes.
Who was that with?
Okay, so here's the story. So I was training, and before salsa and dancing, I was heavy into like singing and playing instruments.
You
I was
sing?
in a band.
What instrument you play?
Not anymore. I play saxophone.
Nice.
He plays the
Yeah.
piano.
Oh, nice. Cool.
But I don't sing though.
Yes, that's
Are you
what I did.
are you like a good
Years.
singer?
I think I'm pretty decent.
See?
Don't ask me to sing.
There it is.
Can you sing
For
the blue-
everybody, hold on. For everybody, there it is. That's that soft talk. Yeah, I think that I am this, and then it's like fuck that person,
We'll
right?
get
Like
to that
it's just
later.
like that heckle and
We'll
jive.
get to
Like
that later.
go ahead.
But when I was 16, 17, I was doing like talent shows. I started doing like solos and stuff. So at the time, Marcus was going through like his breakup with Kim, and then he was trying to find a dance partner to work with, and he was very unsuccessful with finding someone that wanted to continue working with him. It was like, they'll have 2 rehearsals, and they're like, no, find another partner. Just didn't work. So I was like assisting him, helping him teaching his classes and all of that. So when I was 17, I did a solo, and I won first place and all of that. And then my mom threw me like a graduation party, and I did my winning solo there, and he recorded it, and he sent the video to Adolfo, to his BFF, his best friend, right? So he sends him the video, and he's like, what do you think about this girl? And he was like, yeah, like she's really good. I like her, like definitely dance with her. So of course, he claims that he is responsible for my entire life because he's the one that told him, like, give her a chance.
Wait, this is Adolfo?
Wait.
Adolfo.
I thought you were saying me, Marcus. Wait, I'm confused.
No. So Marcus sent him a video
And Adolfo takes credit.
because he was looking for a partner.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Adolfo
So he
gave him the nod. So
he
he's
takes
responsible.
full responsibility and credit for telling Marcus.
You should not have told us that. We are not
Yeah.
gonna let up on that.
Yeah.
We're gonna harp on that a lot.
So
It's kind of like Edwin. I'm responsible for Edwin's entire career. Because if it wasn't for me, there would be no Edwin Tolentino.
oh my god.
Okay? So
But that's what happened. He was the one that gave him like the stamp of approval. Like, yeah, train with her. So
this is post Marcus Eddie Torres, post Marcus.
no.
Latin
Yeah,
Soul.
yeah,
Yeah,
post.
after.
Latin
Way
Souls,
after.
and then Marcus looking to do his own thing.
Yeah.
right, because he used to dance with Kimberly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was dancing with Eddie. They stopped dancing for his team, so he started going solo with Kimberly as a couple. And then when they decided to not work together anymore or be together, he was looking for a partner.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was a lot of people that were telling him either to not dance with me or saying that I wasn't ready. Which
Right. It's
I
always
wasn't
the
dancing for but so much time.
So
So
who
It's always-
choreographed the solo? That first one that you did.
I did.
All on your. Okay, so you
Yeah.
just okay.
Yeah.
That actually tracks
Yeah.
with your personality. Totally tracks with who
I
you are.
probably improvised like half of it, but yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It all makes a lot of sense. All right.
So
What was the song?
It was Maria Cervantes into Pelota by Ray Barretto.
Que yo quiero la. That?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So at the time, Adolfo had just started. He had just left to Italy, and he started Latin soul dancers out there. So he was coming to New York Congress with his team, and he was telling Marcus like, "Yo, like perform with us at the New York Congress." So that
That
was the
had
night-
to be 2010.
Yes.
That had
it
to
was,
be
it was, it was.
2010.
This is that one. Which Congress was this?
This is the Congress that we did.
Or
we
maybe
did Gangster.
09, or maybe 09. One
09?
of the 2 years, yeah. But he was telling him, like, listen, like, find someone to dance with.
Yeah, it's a performance.
And Marcus is like, all right. So he took a huge chance and he taught me the choreography for LSD. We only had about a week. We learned everything by video. I had never performed a partner work routine or been to a Congress in my entire life.
Gangster.
Thugging it.
And Marcus is very stressed out because he's like practically, banking his entire career on me. He's like, this girl we've never performed together before. And then, there was a lot of people in the audience that were like, let's see how this is gonna go. Like, is she gonna screw up? Is she gonna ruin his career? And my first time at a Congress, my first time performing on stage with a partner, and then it was with Adolfo and Latin soul dancers. And
Okay.
Marcus. So
How was the show?
it went well. I'm still here, right?
No, I can't. It could have been like, oh, it was a disaster.
No,
but
no,
I learned so
it
much.
Went really well. It went really
all right,
well.
good.
Thank God.
It was either 09 or 2000.
What was the song?
No, 2010. I remember he did a solo. There was a
The
solo
footwork
number.
one. You're talking about the gold.
I
was
really
really
like that
dope.
number.
Yeah.
But
I
he
remember
did
that.
he did that with one other person only in 2010.
Okay.
2009, I don't remember him being there, but that could just be me.
All right, so you do that show, 2010, right, New York Congress. Then where does it, do you guys officially decide, like, oh, we're going to start working together?
Yes. So I passed the test. I'm almost sure that it was 2009 because in 2010, that's when we started competing. We started competing. It was 2010, 2011. We had worked on our second number together, and then we started competing.
You
like,
competed at New York,
Cup.
because in New York, I know they had a competition 2010, 2011. You could be right. You know what happened? You know what? Look, I have a really good memory, but 2009, we were really busy. That was the year that, I was gigging every other weekend with SR. So that Congress is a blur to me. Like, we did Carupano, we did Villa, but I don't remember the event like that.
Yeah.
So you could be right. It could be 2009.
It was around that time.
But I remember
2009
the
2011.
competition was 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
So how do
In
you guys...
2011, Fausto and Farrell won.
Yes.
Was that your competition?
They didn't go with us to Vegas.
Okay.
They came after.
You competed in
We
Vegas?
were competing before them.
All right. So
Yeah.
then it
So
was
that was
09 to
because we
okay.
competed. We competed at Cache. Good times.
I was there.
Yep.
I was there.
I'm pretty sure. I think Elvis and
Em-
Teresa were dancing
Teresa.
together, and it was somebody else competing that
And it
night
was
too.
Luis and Anya.
Yep. So we went.
Luis Aguilar.
They
Y
went-
Aguilar.
Luis Aguilar, okay.
So oh my gosh, there's so many competitions. So I remember that the year that we went to compete the first time, Louis and Anya, they won.
Okay.
Because I
So that
vividly
was
remember
2010.
they won and we didn't place. And
That
we
was
just-
2010.
Yeah.
That was 2000. Because
Yeah.
they won in 09 and 2010.
Okay.
But when we went to the cup, we got fourth place. And that was our first time, really getting into
Yo,
the
Who won that?
I'm gonna break character and I'm gonna say something, and you might get upset with me, but I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what always fucked me up about you, always. You have done some phenomenal lady routines. And I feel like when it comes to your solos, when you started competing, you diverted from what worked.
I agree.
And
We've
that,
talked about
like,
this
me and
before.
Julie talk about that because, yo, there's a number that you have, right? It is so simple. It's like, the ladies almost look like flight attendants.
Yes.
I remember
Bro,
that. I
this
remember that number.
routine is sick.
No, I remember that number.
And then when I see you doing your competition pieces, I'm like, whoa, what are you doing? Like, you're trying to satisfy what you think other people want. When you do your team numbers, those are fucking beautiful choreographies. And honestly, look, it's tough to give your opinion because as a professional, you're like, yo, I don't want to offend. But
Yeah.
honestly, like, I feel like when you went solo, your competition pieces took a turn based on what I feel you thought people were looking for. And when you did your routines for your ladies is what you wanted. And it always drove me crazy.
So you
Being honest.
you agreed with that, right? Why the disconnect?
Yeah. So we actually did talk about that a while back, me and Jeff, that whole
Okay.
topic. The routine you're talking about is called erotica. And it was like a themed choreography, flight attendant, all that jazz. That original choreography was actually done by Jamie Josephson, who was my mentor.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the only
Shout out to
lady that
Jamie.
believed
I
in
worked
me.
with her once.
Yeah.
Only
so-
once. Hold up. Jamie was in Latin Madness.
Yes, I know. I remember her.
Yes. So when I was started to train with Marcus, she was like the one person that like took me under her wing and was like, "Don't worry, you got this." So I started dancing with the Rhythm Divas, which is coached by Jamie Josephson. But before I joined the team, like her team, she was like one of the only girls teams out with like Kimberly Rivera, Candy Manum. There was a few other people that danced for her. So when I decided to start my own ladies team, I asked her for permission. Like, listen, like, can I use your routine? Because I did a tribute to her. But do you mind if I like incorporate like my own like modern twist to it? And she's like, yeah, absolutely. And we won that year at Summit. But, you know, for anyone who competes, the more you compete, the more opinions you receive, the more influence you receive, the more there's some people whose names I won't mention that will make you feel like in order to win, you have to train with them, you know? So anyway.
Assholes.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
No, I mean it in the sense like an opinion, right? Everybody has an
Right.
asshole
You know,
or some
sure.
opinion or something. The
But-
saying goes like that, right?
But to be honest, you know, even and Marcus could attest to this too. Like when you before you go into competition, you could have like this super like major confidence, and you're like yes, and then you enter like the competition world, and depending on who you come across, like it can influence like how you feel about yourself, about how you're dancing, or everyone has an opinion, and then well, at least what happened to me, it was like, okay, when I'm doing my solo piece, like who's winning? Is it the ballerina girl or is it the salsera? And like even Billy and Tito, Tamara, everybody to this day, they can say like, yes, back then, like some of the judges were looking for the wrong things. Like right now, if you look at who's winning, they're real dancers now. Like they actually do dance more salsa and all of that. And it's not just about tricks. Back then, it was all about tricks. Just saying.
Yeah.
So it was like,
that's a
you know.
that's a whole conversation.
It is. We need a whole other day for
on.
that.
Yeah.
But-
Hold on, this
but
non-alcoholic beer is starting to kick in, baby.
But that's kind of what happened with me. It was like instead of me going in, like when I first started competing, I was going in with straight mambo. But then it was like the more I kept going back and like fighting for it, I was like, what am I doing wrong? So I started changing my style for my solos. I was like, let me add a little flick here, a little, you know, like what are they looking for? So it's like I was really getting into my head, like to the point that to this day, it's very difficult for me to even choreograph a solo for myself because I can't unthink about what everyone else wants to see. which I'm coming back after
Yeah.
this stage.
It's
I'm gonna
funny.
be. I'm.
Jeff and I had this
listen,
conversation.
Let me tell you something.
about
One thing about me, like when I had success, I haven't had success in a while because I haven't been doing it. I am very much about, like, I don't like people telling me what I can and cannot do. That's one thing about me. I know a lot of people don't know that. But if you tell me like, yo, you cannot do that, then I'm definitely gonna do it because I'm stubborn that way. And when I started, like, my first year, I never let Billy. I tell Billy all the time. He came to my studio. He said, you should step out of the routine and compete amateur, because if you guys compete, you will not finish in the top 20. We have 30 teams coming this year, and you will not finish in the top 20. And he said that, and when he left, I said, all right, we're definitely going. I want to see us finish 21. And I told the team, and they were upset, and I didn't care because I am not about that. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Like, if you're right, you're right, but I like, and why do I say that? Because a lot of times, like, let me see if I can articulate this correctly. We know more about what we need to do, like, instinctually, than what anybody else could tell us. Right? So, like, instinctually, we know the answer, but a lot of times we want validation from everybody else, and the reality is that nobody gives you validation until you have accolades. so it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, unless you do something that gives you the accolades,
well,
nobody validates you.
I think that it's a reflection of, or a testament as to your success. I think that although that the competition portion is a part of it, you have much more successes in other things that are much more, I think, of a better reference as to who you are and what you represent. Because, like I said, I think that you and Marcus probably run the most successful studio in the tri-state area. I think we can easily say that.
But like,
And I think that that's a better,
Okay,
that's a
fine.
better reference point. How successful you are in your school than
Yeah.
what someone thinks
okay, Jay,
on a panel. Does
Jay,
that make
fine.
sense?
Success with the studio, fine. But makeup,
Oh yeah, but
running an event.
we're not even up-
What
we're-
I'm trying to say is that, like, yo, like, if you really match competition to anything else, it doesn't match up. Mm-hmm. But you know why it does? Because you, right? And I've been there. You look at, okay, competition is something different than everything else that I've done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? And you put it at a higher pedestal, and maybe that's why it's like, oh my God, it's harder to reach. But in reality, everything else that you do, right, most competitors cannot touch. But because you talk to somebody and they say, yo, you have to do this. You want to compete? Well, you have to do this. You have to do that. You have to lose weight. I won a fucking competition at 320 pounds. And you know what they said at the end? How you let him win when he's that big?
Oh my God.
Right? So what's the point I'm trying to make? The point I'm trying to make is that you have already conquered all those barriers, right? But I just feel like with competition, it's very easy to psych ourselves out. That's what I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I mean, I have tons of trophies to show for. Like, we have lots of trophies. We've won first and second place in many categories. My girls have won first place in several categories. I could say at the very least I've made top 5 in the professional ladies solos.
What?
At the very
No.
least. But it is true that when it comes to competing, especially as a soloist, I do get in my head, but I can also say that I don't work as hard as the other competitors because I don't need it to make me or break me. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So,
That's fair.
You know, I would say that if I had won first place the year that I made top 5, I would say that I didn't deserve it because I didn't work as hard as everybody else.
Ooh,
Interesting.
that's interesting. That's
Like
great.
I
I
feel
that.
like if a trophy is meant for me to have, it's gonna be when I actually work for it.
You know
like
what?
that.
That's a
Yo,
Jesus
So-
Christ.
You know,
Alright.
'cause
If
you
the
ask
mics
someone-
weren't on stand, I'd
ask-
tell you to drop it. But
Ask someone if I rehearse like every single day
Aye.
or whatever the case. They're gonna tell
Yo.
you no. She's
yeah,
not.
but like,
I like that.
yeah, I like. That is a
That
very
is-
Diana answer, if there's ever been one.
But you know what? You know what?
It's true though, and you know what? Props to that because a lot of people don't feel
Props
that
to
way.
that.
A lot of people don't feel that way. That is a rare thing for someone to acknowledge and to say. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
All right.
that's pretty crazy. No, it's crazy she said that. It's crazy she said that. Not me. The first 2 years that I lost, I was fucking pissed.
Yeah.
I was livid.
Didn't take it too good.
We got third and then we got second, and I was livid. And people looked at it as me being
Jeff was upset the year we won.
Why?
Because, and I'll tell you the truth. The truth is that this thing gets very like, not personal, but like, you know, people are very comfortable with saying what they say. And I think that one thing is about Jeff's super competitive. So I think at that year, like, you know, there were certain people that were kind of running at the mouth. And they were like, oh, when we do this, like, you know, and then Jeff's thing was like, all right, we're going to see. And then they didn't show up. So then it wasn't more like we won. It was more like, oh, look, they
Like you
chumped
didn't-
out.
I wasn't gonna
Win
go.
to who you
I
wanted to
wasn't
beat.
gonna go.
Yeah.
We weren't gonna go. I decided Huracan wasn't gonna go, and then there was a few people from a couple different teams that
Yeah.
challenged me.
We'll
which
have
we
that.
we were gonna have an episode on that, and they said, "Oh, you have to come because you're gonna. I think you could get second this year to us." And I was like, "Damn, that's." And then I said, "All right, let's find out." And then I went, and I went a little harder that year, and they didn't show up.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, they didn't show up because they knew it was going to be a long road. And at the end of the day, I could afford a loss, but I don't think they could.
Yeah. So Jeff wasn't even happy that
You
year.
can name drop later.
Jeff's very
me,
comfortable.
text me.
Jeff's very
I
comfortable.
tell them all the time.
Jeff tells them all the time.
And they're like, no, that's not what it was. And I'm like, yeah, it was what it was. Like, listen, if you came up to me, you say, yo, we got a new routine and you're not going to touch it. And, you know, you should, like, you should come because you're going to get second. I was like,
Yeah, Jeff was not
like,
happy
all
with
right.
that.
Okay.
And we are very competitive in that sense. But I think Jeff, like, those things are like personal. Like, you feel like, you know, like when you watch The Last Dance and I took that personal. That is how Jeff took
Yeah, I did. But it is what it is.
So, the makeup, Jeff touched on the makeup, right? Are you still doing makeup like regularly, or is that kind of like a special?
Yes, I have like 10 jobs.
We know.
So I have my own bridal company that I do hair and makeup for.
You did hair and makeup for my wedding.
Yes.
Shout out to Julie.
I did.
Good girl.
And
Where do you find the time?
I don't know. I make time somehow.
That's
some
crazy.
way.
Because that's
Okay,
time.
wait.
That's
Have
time
you always
consuming.
been like this? Or is this something that you developed?
I don't feel like I've always been like this. I mean, no, I'm lying. I have always been like this because even in high school, I used to have like a ton of jobs. I used to work at a TV station as an intern. I used to like do commentating for football all in the same year for like college football.
like booting?
I was like, yeah. Like,
Seriously?
all those colleges, I would be there
Let's
doing
go.
commentating.
Booting.
Boom.
I was like singing with a jazz band, playing saxophone with a jazz band. So I was always busy.
So you're like a legit sax player.
Yeah, I played for many years.
Holy
Yeah.
moly, guacamole. You learn
Yeah.
something new every day.
Before salsa, that was my dream.
Yeah, to be a
Just
sax.
to play jazz. Yep.
Like Bill Clinton.
Holy shit.
You ever see Bill his inauguration?
Oh my god.
He killed that shit.
But yeah,
Oh
I've
my
always
God.
been busy.
Have
But
you-
I don't know. I don't know if it's because I get bored very easily. So I have to always.
You're like
I'm
me.
always
You
thinking
sound
of
like
something
somebody
else
I
to
know.
do.
You're like me, yeah.
You know,
Abel used to quit salsa every 6 months. I'm done with this. I never want to do this again, and then come back.
So, all right. So you're still doing makeup portion. I know that you have your own event space.
Yes.
And you're doing events at. What kind of events do you guys do there?
Everything: weddings, birthdays, sweet 16.
Where is this located?
In North Arlington. So it's literally, I can see the studio right across the river. It's like very close.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. And how long have you been doing that for?
I'm going on year 2.
Okay.
I've been open.
How's that?
It's a pain in the ass
Okay.
because you have to deal with people and
Yeah.
people don't want to pay, and there's, you find the clients that like, yeah, great price, and you find the other people that want, VFW prices, and that's not happening. So
Speaking of shitty people, now you run a Congress.
yes.
It's okay. You can laugh out loud. I'm just joking.
Oh my God.
So you run a Congress now.
Yes.
Okay. And all right. So in all the things that you do, okay, because one of my favorite things at your event is you put on this like beautiful gown and you sit at the table and with like a checkbook. And that there's nothing better for me, and I say this with all reverence, to see there and just watch you in this beautiful, like it's never like sweats. It's always like decked out.
Whoa. I'm gonna have to cut you off.
Yeah.
Your crowd looks different.
Yes. Jersey's a whole different deal.
No, not Jersey. Your crowd. So, for example, right? You used to always invite us in December
So
to do this event. It was Marcus's birthday, and you guys dress very different than other events. How is that something that you guys push, or is this something that happens?
wait, I don't know what you mean.
Okay, so what I mean is,
I know
Hold
what
on. I want her to explain. What does he mean?
Okay. All right. Okay. Everyone knows that I hate themes.
Okay.
Let's just start with that.
You hate
Okay.
themes.
I hate themes because I don't like people telling me what to do.
Okay.
I don't want people telling me go buy a white outfit, go buy a neon outfit. No
a
offense.
personality.
Okay.
No offense.
I understand
Thank,
that.
Okay.
thank you for proving me
But-
right, at least, because I don't want to
Drives
see
me
crazy.
Like, listen, my whole closet, everything is black. That's all I'm gonna wear. That's all I'm gonna wear. That's it.
Okay.
All right. But I'm the kind of person where I feel like people, no offense to anybody out there,
Go ahead.
that wears sneakers and shorts and tank tops to socials or to the club or whatever the case. Maybe times have changed, which they have. But I feel that you should dress for the occasion. If it's a Thursday night, wear your jeans, wear your sneakers, wear your club shirt. Great. If it's a Friday night, you start upgrading little by little. Saturday night at a Congress, for me, is prestigious. Back in the day, New York Congress, walking in the hallway was like a fashion show. Everyone was dressed to impress. The jackets, the ties, the dresses, the heels, the hair. That's just how we were back then.
Yeah.
But now, it's like people, I don't know what it is. Either people are too comfortable, people are lazy, people don't find any reason to want to dress up anymore. But that's how it was back then. So with all our events, we try to maintain that same vibe of
Yeah.
back then.
Elegance.
Maybe we're stuck in a time capsule.
No,
I
it's
don't
okay.
know. But I just
There's
feel
nothing
like
wrong with that.
We tell people dress to impress, dress nicely, whatever the case.
I work in a high school with
That's-
kids, and they all roll right out of bed and show up. It's like heroin chic, is what I call it.
In PJs.
Yeah, they're
I
like
got
in
it.
PJs. Everybody looks like they overdosed and showed up to school that day. And that's what the kids look like. They're all in
I
sweats
didn't
and
see
Crocs. They're all in sweats
Board
and
of
Crocs.
Education. I didn't say that.
They're all in sweats. They're all in Crocs. They're all kind of groggy. They're all like,
Yeah.
the hair's all messed up. I remember getting dressed and like going to high school and like putting clothes on and like looking at myself in the mirror and making sure I put together and getting a
Gel,
haircut.
The yellow
Exactly.
gel.
Yeah, getting a haircut weekly. But like, I understand what you mean. That's not a priority. That's not like a thing anymore. And look, Jeff and I, we run an event. We wear a suit every night for our event. Like that's something that we do.
Yeah.
But I totally get it because there are some people that show up to the event and it's kind of like they kind of stand out like a sore thumb kind of thing because it's like I mean, again, people wear whatever they're gonna wear. It is what it is.
I feel like as an example, for anyone who's from that era of dancing, when we go to a Jimmy Anton social, put your jazz shoes on, put your tank top, you know.
Oh, yeah, we did that.
You know, because you're there to sweat or whatever.
Yo,
but
Choco,
it's
let me get a shirt.
Exactly. It's like class is class. The club is the club. A Congress is Congress. It's, you know, like dress for the occasion.
Okay.
And that's just the style that I want to maintain.
Gotcha. So let me ask you a question. These events, right, for Marcus's birthday, were those like precursors for you doing your own event? Because those things are always like packed. I don't think we ever went to one that was not packed.
So I wouldn't say that it was like a prepper. Well, okay, it served as an unofficial preparation for what I do now when it comes to the Congress. But it was never planned for it to be crazy packed. It just so happens that my husband's very popular and has a lot of students and knows a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it was always like a big thing. We always had to find a large location and kind of, you know, it was always like that mini Congress vibe back in the day. But organizing that was like practice for me.
Yeah.
For organizing, you know, the Congress.
So now that you're a millionaire for running Congresses,
Bueno, señor.
Well, I'm sure people think you're a millionaire now.
Listen, everyone thinks that Congress owners are millionaires.
Yeah?
Hard out here.
Okay.
All right. Do we know any millionaire Congress owners?
Yeah, you're looking at them. No, I'm joking. I'm definitely not.
Our prices
Nah, you
are
know
going to
what?
be through the roof.
People are going to believe it because they believe everything they see on the internet. That is not true, guys.
Yo, man, you guys can't be cheap, man. Just bring Gilberto and, you know, things will be all right.
I always say unless you've done it, you should not have a comment on it or an opinion on it.
Okay.
Like unless you've ran a large event yourself, there's nothing you can say. Listen, there's people.
You like it?
I enjoy it.
Good. What do you enjoy about it?
What do I?
Because I think that there's something really toxic about what we enjoy about this that people just aren't going to get. There's something really stressful
That's just crazy
about a Congress weekend. No, I'm serious, though. It's like an abusive relationship. You don't sleep. You're fighting with everybody.
I mean, I don't fight with anybody.
I don't fight with anybody either, but they do attempt to fight with me. Jeff does a lot of fighting.
I try to maintain cool the entire event. Everybody likes me. You know, I don't argue with nobody.
Yeah. You don't everything's on your shoulders.
This
You're
is
totally
true.
responsible. You want everything. You have a image in your brain as to what you want, and it never seems to quite come out that way. Right? So what do you like about it?
I mean, in a weird way, it's like I kind of like the stress. And then
abusive relationship. There it is.
It's almost like a battle with myself of I know I'm gonna make this work and I'm gonna prove to everybody that it's gonna work and my formulas it's all gonna work, everything's gonna happen, everything's gonna be on time, everything's gonna be perfect. And it's like just that feeling of once it's like happening and then once it's over to be like, yo, I did that. I ain't make no money.
I totally, and I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's just crazy.
There's something about that like, it's very few people that can relate to it. And I totally get what you're talking about. That Sunday feeling, like, yo, when you wake up on Sunday and you're like, yo, I'm almost home. Well, in your case, Saturday, right?
No.
Just for this year. I mean, we still had stuff happening on Sunday too, but I would say that this year went a lot better than last year, like at least behind the scenes.
Because you're getting better. The more experience, the better you get at it.
Right. Like I'm starting to like step back a little bit and just let the train roll.
Yeah. We don't do that.
So wait a minute. What do you hate about it?
What do I hate about Congresses?
I know the answer.
What do I hate?
Be honest. This is where it comes, guys. This is the snippet for Instagram. What do you hate? This is the commercial right here. Go ahead.
Okay.
Hit me with it, D.
All right. Listen. I need to refill. I'm just kidding.
Go ahead.
What I
Putting that alcoholism beer in there to relax you.
okay. Look.
Let it go. Shoot it.
So one thing that I which is it's been a big debate on the internet recently, but one thing that I hate is when we get like those last minute calls of like, hey, can I perform at your Congress? Or can I teach you your Congress? And here's my bill. I'm like, I'm sorry. The Congress is like in 5 days. And you want me to squeeze you into my budget last minute.
What's a budget?
Exactly. What is a budget?
Huh?
Squeeze you in last minute and pay 3 days for your hotel plus your pay, and I don't even have a flyer out for you. That's one of the things that I hate the most. One of the things, because I feel like sometimes artists can be inconsiderate. And it's like, I wouldn't do it.
I
It's
didn't
like,
say it.
I feel like it's different when you own a Congress and you're not in the scene and you've never performed and you've never trained or whatever the case, and you're trying to run an event with dancers versus someone who's been in the community for so many years. And you're like, I would never do this if I was in their shoes, you know?
Can I tell you a story?
Go for it.
So a few years back, I forgot what event we were doing, but Jeff was doing booking for something, and he called like these dancers, and he was like, "Hey, I want you guys to come and do this event." And they said some obscene number. What was the number they said, Jeff?
$4,000.
Like $4,000. And Jeff was like, "Huh, all right, let me get back to you."
I'll call you back.
And it was like, what? Like, it was the most obscene. Like, when he called me and told me about it, it was almost like, dude, no way. There's just no way they would have said that. Like, no rational person. But
God.
it's that. I understand what you mean by
They called
that.
me back a week before the event and said, "Yeah, give me $500."
No. I just feel like, and again, it goes back to like people assuming that we're millionaires. It's like they see,
I think you're a millionaire.
they
I'm going to
see-
be honest with you.
they see,
Makeup's always right. Event space, Congress, studio packed. You definitely a millionaire.
listen, the
People, but again, right? It's interesting what people perceive based off of what they see.
Yeah.
Isn't that, you know what I mean?
I mean, you know, entrepreneur life is very hard.
It's 100%.
It's not for the weak, you know, because you are your own boss. If you don't work, you don't make money. It's not like you have a guaranteed paycheck and you can sit at work at your desk 9 to 5 watching Netflix and then you still get paid. It's not like that. You have to day and night. 3 o'clock in the morning, you get an email. 3 o'clock in the morning, your internet is down, your website is down, and someone's texting you like, "Oh, there's a typo." Like, you have to be on it.
Yeah.
You know, like there are no breaks when you're running your own business.
How many people you have in your team?
Well, I have a very small team, but we are mighty.
Okay, how many?
Me, Denise, Jackie, Johnny, Gina, you know, Marcus, of course.
I like Marcus. I love Marcus's role. In
You
all
know,
this.
Marcus's role is
I
to
love
be
it.
the governor. You show up,
Yeah.
make sure everything's running smooth.
That's
make
what I
sure
wanna
everyone's
do.
Happy.
He lives
You
my
know,
dream.
He just
His hair
wants-
too. He's got a good head of hair. Oh,
Marcus is just there for me to be like, this is what I decided today. He says, okay.
yeah.
That's what he does. He just supports whatever.
But you know what
crazy
though?
ideas
It's
I have.
interesting. I'll be honest with you. I tell people all the time. I could never work with anyone else but my brother. I couldn't. And I'll tell you why. Because there's some things like I'll always ride out for his decision. And I know it's vice versa, right? But like I could never ever put that much confidence in a stranger that wasn't blood
Yep.
or a partner. So
I
agree.
make good decisions. What do you want me to do?
you've made some questionable ones too, right?
I'm a good shot. What do you want me to do?
But again, right? Like in the sense of like our work relationship, there's certain things where I'm just like, no, there's just no way it's happening. And there are certain times where he'll be like, yo, like, you know, I'll be like, yo, this person wants to come, and he'll be like, Jeff, hey, stop wasting my time with this. Like, come on, this is like, and again, it's a great working relationship because I never have to worry about trusting him. And whenever there's something that's wrong, it's like, yeah, all right, it's our wrong
Yeah.
together.
I made a big
And
mistake
Right.
last year in Tri-State. We lost a lot of money because of my mistake.
But it doesn't even matter.
I was like, yo, Jay, I messed up. And he was like, all right, whatever.
Man.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If it was a stranger, I'd be like, what the fuck you mean you made a mistake?
Yeah, but it's true.
Are you
like,
crazy? I will kill you.
So I have a question for you. You've been here for a long time now. Are you grumpy?
Are you a grumpy old woman?
No, I'm not.
You sure?
No?
I'm
You
not.
love it all.
I'm chill.
Yeah?
I'm chill. Yeah.
You don't feel like, oh, these new cats, they don't respect. You're not one of those. Like Ismael came out here, he was like, yes, I'm a grumpy old man.
He said it with a lisp too.
Let me tell you.
You mean in the sense of like,
It could be whatever. It could be shows. It could be the way people behave. It could be Congress. Like,
in the sense of like running a Congress?
well, just in general. Like, do you feel grumpy at all? Do you feel like, damn, like,
Are you frustrated with anything?
Oh, I know where you're getting at.
No. We're not mean. That's not what I mean.
So for
What I mean,
example,
what you mean.
I think
I
when
know
he's
what
talking
you
about
mean.
the state of our dance and
so
our
look, Ismael came out here. He's like, oh, you know, I feel like these new cats, they don't kind of respect the old school, right? That's not me. I don't agree with that, right?
Right.
And then, you know, I'll talk to Billy, and Billy will be like, oh, you know, people just love to complain when it comes to events. When it comes to the summit, people just love to complain, but like nobody takes a step back and looks at the bigger picture. So I'm asking, you wear both hats, so
Yeah, I understand what you mean. I mean, when it comes to like the community, again, times have changed from how people dress to show up to events. You know, I'm not even gonna get into like the quality of work. That's a different story. But I feel like there's no like mutual respect or understanding in certain things anymore. For example, we'll start small. So back in the day, if I had a social on a Sunday, everyone knew Jimmy Anton's was what? Every first Sunday of the month or something like that.
Yeah.
People already know that's Jimmy's Sunday.
Yeah.
You can't have a social the first Sunday of the month because that's Jimmy's Sunday out of respect, because that's how we used to work together back in the day. So you pick the third Sunday, but it's not like that no more. People don't care about that. People taking dates, you know, of not even socials. Congresses, taking the same date,
we have an issue.
We have an issue with that too.
you know.
Not the
So-
same date.
Not the same day, same
Close
month.
enough.
Or even like, right, or even like an event that's close. Like the people from back in the day, we all, whenever there's a social in Jersey, we communicate and they hit us up. Hey, do you have a social this day? Because I'm thinking about having an event. I even extend that courtesy to like Alex for Sarsa Mania. Hey, I'm having Marcus's birthday this weekend. Do you have a social or whatever the case is? Because at the end of the day, our community is this big. It may look huge, but our community is this big. If we keep stretching our community thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner, no one's gonna make money. No one's gonna succeed. Everyone's event is gonna be dead. It's gonna be crickets. How
Talk
does
your
it make
talk, girl.
sense? Like even this year, before we officially launched our dates for next year, I was even considering, out of the kindness of my heart, like, listen, I was thinking more about the artists that compete, that go to MDN, and then go to SBK. I'm like, damn, that's like the one problem that I've encountered is a lot of my artists like, listen, like my teams, they might not be able to do your event because like Summit is right before and, you know, they're taking off of work and a lot of money, this and that and the third. Or, oh, I can't bring as many people to your event because I have half my people going to yours and half my people going to SBK. And I was tired of hearing it. So I was like, you know what? I'll be the bigger person and maybe I'll move my event a month later just to like help the pockets of the community. But nobody's thinking about me. So we're keeping our date, normal, standard, end of January, first week of February. But it's like, there's just too much happening all at the same time. And it's affecting everybody. And then now we have an event the same weekend as ours. And now instead of it just hurting the dancers and the teams, now it's gonna hurt the artists directly. Because now it's like, where do you go? So now instead of you getting 2 paychecks in February, you're gonna get 1. Because I'm not gonna do that, oh, dance at my Congress on Friday and dance over there on Saturday. I'm not gonna do that, you know? So
I wouldn't do it either.
So people have to think about those things. You know, it's like when you're running a Congress, what makes a Congress successful is catering to the people that you need for it to run, which is the artist. Without artists, there's no workshops. Without artists, there's no shows. If you don't take care of your artist, your business is not going to be successful. So
That's a great
where
point.
we're at.
No, listen, I'll be honest with you. I agree with you. I understand what you're saying. It makes sense. Jeff and I, we have our opinions on stuff that goes on, you know, close to our event. So I could imagine how frustrated I'd be if it was.
there's artists that are like upset at me too, because they want to go to our event and
They
the
can go-
Sensual Movement event,
They
and I
can
tell
go.
them you can go to the Sensual Movement event, but you can't go to both.
Yeah,
Not if I'm gonna pay you.
yeah. And I think that that's like, people think that that's like a malicious thing. It's like, nah, man, this is just us protecting our business, which is.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people lose sight of that part. People don't realize the investment that we personally make. Not only the investment from a monetary perspective, but also time away from your family, time away from your other 8 businesses that you have, right? Because you got a lot of stuff going on. You have a child. You have a husband. At the end of the
Another
day,
child on the
you got
way.
another one is going to be on the way. So people fail to realize, like, and again, maybe it's not for them to realize, but at the end of the day, like, this is the conversation now. And if I'm taking money out of my pocket or out of this, you know, where I could be investing it somewhere else to try to make sure that our community still has something to do and there's a actual vehicle where the artist can earn money and blah, 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 blah. And it doesn't seem like that's being reciprocated. I understand the frustration about it. I get it. I totally understand that. And I don't knock you either. Because like I said, Jeff and I have had our conversations. And again, it's not personal. It's never personal. It's just business. But at the end of the day, at some point, someone has to say, hey, look, this doesn't work for me. Exactly. And that's what doesn't work for you. And that's okay. And the artists, they can feel a type of way about it. But I think that if they took a second and say, hey, look at like kind of how do they think about it in our perspective, maybe they'd be able to kind of have some sort of clarity that resembles ours. But I mean, again, that's kind of, wishful thinking sometimes. And it is what it is. Like, and one thing that I will say about your event is that it does seem to have a very, like, New Jersey is very, very loyal to a fault. Does that make sense?
Ismael said that the other day.
Like,
Yeah.
I feel like what you guys built in New Jersey, people are very, very loyal to that. Yeah. There are people that go to your event that don't go to any other event. They only go to yours,
Right.
which I think is a blessing because, again, not many people have built a following that is that loyal.
Yeah.
And I think you guys do a great event. It's getting better. It got better.
You worried about it? No.
No. I will say my motto this week has been, I'm irritated, but I'm not worried and I'm not scared.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, look, there could be 2 other events on my same weekend, but they're not delivering what we're delivering. Like, you go to MDN versus another event and you can see the drastic difference, even in the type of people that go, the type of vibe that we have. Our Congress is very like family oriented. Everybody got their kids in the strollers and
Live music.
That part, live music, we got the space, we got the lighting, we got the stage. Like, we keep our event like at a certain, I guess you could say at a certain standard. But like our priority is making sure that our clients or a lot of the guests that come to the event feel comfortable and in a safe space, that our artists feel respected and appreciated, pay everybody on time, all of the above. Like, we try to run a pretty tight ship. So, and then we have our students. And like, one thing that I would say that separates us from other events, again, no offense to anybody, is that
None taken.
our focus, and I guess you can agree with me too, our focus, especially when it comes to hiring artists, I'm not looking at the person that has the most Instagram followers. I don't care if you have 100,000 Instagram followers. I don't care if, you know, you have 1 million likes on a Instagram reel. I'm hiring, and no disrespect, hey, that's amazing. It's a new way that people are making money. But at the end of the day, I'm hiring people that understand what it's like to be in the kitchen when it's hot, to train students, to develop a dance company, to maintain a studio, to train people from scratch and build a team from nothing. You know, the newer instructors that are opening up a studio for the first time, and they're like, okay, what do I do? Where do I go? How does this Congress stuff work? I'm like, come up, come on down, like teach at our Congress. Like there's so many talented people in our community that are overlooked because the internet only puts out a certain type of style and a certain type of artist. Meanwhile, there's tons of talented people in Florida, in Virginia, in Boston. Like, I didn't know who Get Into a Dance Company was until I went to a DC Congress. I'm like, yo, who are these people? They're incredible. But do you see them getting hired for like other specific congresses? No. Because, why? Because they're not Instagram famous, but they're extremely talented.
Yeah.
So like whenever I hire artists, like that's one of the things that I look for. I hire the people that teach well, that my students are gonna benefit from during the workshops, the people that actually like to teach, the people that actually don't mind taking questions during workshops, the people that, you know, like, you know, all those things are extremely important.
Yeah.
You know, so that's one of the reasons why the Congress runs so well, because that's our main focus, is making sure that the experience is good for everyone, the artists and the people that show up.
Do you get any, like, all right, as a congresswoman, I've gotten some really interesting complaints.
Oh, no.
Have you gotten any, like, interesting, like, you ever read anything and been like, what is going on right now? There's got to be one.
Damn. I'm about to pull up her text messages right now. I'm trying to think of one, like, I mean, I get a lot of people, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but there's always that one person that they'll text you like, yo, there's a period missing at the end of a sentence, or little things like that.
The sound is too loud.
You know?
The sound is too loud. That's one that we've got.
No, I haven't had that
Diana,
complaint.
what's one thing people don't know about you that you would like them to know? No, you already
Besides
know that. You already said
Now
that.
I know, yeah.
That don't
That I
count.
would like people to know? Oh, that's rough.
I know what it is. We got to get more white on her Christmas list. More white clothing.
Oh my God.
Get some of that black out of there.
I mean, honestly, I don't know. There's nothing really that I want people to know. No, not really.
No?
I mean, I'm pretty much like, I don't know. I feel like there's nothing really, you know, there that I have hidden. No hidden secrets here. You know, everyone knows I'm an entrepreneur. They know I have 1,000 businesses, you know, married. I'm gonna have 2 kids now. So, I mean, there's nothing really.
Your kid's going to dance?
Well, MJ loves to dance.
Okay.
That's a given. He loves music. He loves to dance. Will we force them to be salsa teachers? I would prefer him to take on a different career path. Only God knows where the scene is going to be 20 years from now.
I want Jaden to play baseball.
You know, would we like, you know, for our kids to take on, you know, the empire that we have now? Yes. Will we keep doing this Congress for many years to come, God willing, and he can take it over? Great. But the scene changes, like,
Yeah, it
often.
does. It does.
You know, like there was a time where salsa wasn't the thing anymore, and it was about reggaeton. So who knows what's gonna happen? You know, in a few years from now, will salsa even still be here?
Yeah,
Will,
Mark is going to be teaching bachata
you know?
classes soon.
Oh my gosh, he would never. He would never.
That'll be the day.
No,
I'd pay to see that.
Nope. He sticks to his basic, and that's about
Listen,
it.
I'm telling you, don't never say never. You're going to see. I'm going to
I'd
see that
pay to
video.
see that shit.
Oh,
At MDN, bachata level 1.
No, that's the one train we did not jump.
Yo,
on.
but you know, it's crazy because us either. But, like, yo, bachata's huge.
It is.
You had a bachata team. You were a director at one point.
Yeah, I was, but that was short-lived.
because of you, not because of the.
I don't care
you
what it
coulda-
was.
No, meaning you could have kept doing it if you wanted.
Yeah,
to.
but that's what I'm trying to tell you. That's even back then we knew that. Even back then we knew it was like turning huge, and here we are 10 years later, and it's definitely bigger.
Yeah, it
we
is.
we did it. We booked bachata artists at our Congress. Think about that. All right,
Yeah.
just so you know.
Yeah,
And he was in there singing, doing his little. He did a footwork routine. Danny J. I was like, oh snap! And me and Jeff were in there like, because we didn't know what to do, right? And it's funny because the crowd was much more engaged with the bachata artists than they were with the salsa artists, because they're more prone to. It was interesting. I don't know if you caught that. They were more willing. The salseros wanted to dance more, and the bachata people wanted to see the artists more. It was really interesting.
Yeah,
Really interesting.
the younger crowd.
Jeff was in the side because we didn't know what to
God.
do. We didn't know we were supposed to do a bachata basic. And Jeff's in there with his fist pumping. Like,
Oh my God.
don't worry,
No.
it's coming.
Nah, no. Listen, I got rid of the bachata room this year, and I got yelled at a little bit.
Did you?
By the bachateros.
Oh snap!
Yeah, it was like, why is there no bachata? And I'm like, they'll play, they'll mix it up for you. No, but the best line I got this year at the Congress was, yeah, he played a bachata song, but it was Dominican.
Yeah, because that's you don't you.
What do
gotta-
what do you mean?
There was that's the thing
Like,
though.
what do you mean? It was Dominican. So
I
don't
know,
wanna hit-
but they don't
Not hip
they don't
right now.
differentiate. They don't understand that it's all Dominican, but sensual, urban, right? That's all thing, and then traditional. You gotta know your crowd.
Sensual, urban, and traditional
I
are
can't keep
not the same thing.
Yeah,
No.
right. And neither can we. But I know I'm on it. I'm learning. I get my vernacular because I know
It's all right.
I've
next
been yelled
year,
at.
Next year we're gonna have a bachata room for the bachateros.
Nice.
That'll make
And you did like a
happen.
reggaeton party this year. You did like a little turn up.
Yeah,
There. How was that?
that was a vibe.
Yeah. Did you like it?
Yep.
Did
Yeah.
your people like it?
Yeah, they loved it. They were in there doing the limbo.
Okay. Hey, whatever. Give the
Whatever
people what they
works.
want. We do it at Tri-State. We can't do it in New York, but we definitely do it at Tri-State.
Yep.
Yep.
So now, what's next? I mean, obviously, you guys, what's next on the list of things to do for you guys, for you especially?
I mean, right now, like we're starting, sooner when it comes to the whole Congress planning.
Okay.
Last year we didn't really start, pushing this year until like summer, fall.
Yeah, I saw your flyers out already.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, we started early this year, for reasons, as you know. But, last year we were like, are we really going to do this? Are we really going to dive in again? You do it the first year, and second year you're like, is it worth it?
Yeah.
But, this year came out really good, and we're hoping that next year is even better.
And I hope so. I'm sure with your convictions, it will be so. I have no doubt. Diana, thank you for coming. How was it? Was it a lot? Was it good? Was it what you thought it was gonna be? 'Cause I know you were nervous.
I was a little nervous. I was like, they're going to get me in trouble.
No.
Nah, we're not trying to get nobody.
No, that's not what we're here for.
Except
we want a
Luis.
big.
I
Luis
squashed
got himself in trouble.
I squashed the beef with so many
Hopefully
people.
Luis gets
No. Look, our goal is to bring people on and give them big them up and give them their flowers and make sure that they look.
Nelson did that. He didn't want to come on.
Nelson didn't want to come on, and
Oh my
some people have made comments like, "Oh, we're trying to get people in trouble." That's not the case. That's not what we're here for. But I'm glad that you did come and that you kind of, it was interesting learning. I learned some new stuff about you that I didn't know. Hopefully, you pull out you should do a sax solo.
Oh my
No.
gosh.
There was a
Imagine.
guy in the New York Congress like 2 years ago that played the harp or something like that. What did he play?
Yeah, that.
Yeah, you come out and
my
do a little saxophone solo.
Hey, maybe if I do that at Summit, that might be my winning break right
But
there.
you can't use props though. You have to pre-record it. But then you go like that with your fingers.
I can't.
Guys, social media.
What's the date next year?
What's your date for your event?
January 29th, 2026.
Okay, 29th to the.
The 1st of February.
Okay.
Where's your studio located?
289 Main Street, Belleville, New Jersey.
I love it. Do you guys have like a Sopranos like landmarks that like if we ever went to your studio to visit, you could tell us like, hey, they shot this here, or you don't know any of that?
I mean, there's a lot of Italian restaurants that, you know, they have
Okay.
their,
You know, that wife of yours, she got the giggles.
you know.
Okay. What's your social media? Like your personal one?
Diana Osorio Nieves is my social
One
media.
word?
Yep, as one word.
Nice. And what about your studio?
It's MDN Latin Dance Studio for Instagram.
Okay.
And if you want to follow my husband, it's MDN Dance.
Okay. Now, what about your your space?
La Riviere Banquets.
Spell that out because people are gonna mess that up. They're gonna butcher that.
I'm not going to spell it out because I'm going to butcher it.
Okay. We're gonna put it here on the bottom.
Okay.
Okay. And for your makeup.
Brushed by Diana.
There's a lot of things going on here, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen.
Yeah.
You guys want me?
I have one social media, right? Which you all know what it's DJ Boy NYC. Jeff, it's
Jeff
the
Huracan.
Jeff. That's it. That's what we got for you. Obviously, follow us on the Tri-State Instagram and the New York Congress Instagram and the Land Moves Instagram
And this scene of ours.
and the scene of ours. Diana, thank you for coming.
Thank
And we know you
you.
came a long way, that trek from New Jersey, and we really, really appreciate it. And it was amazing.
Thank you.
All right. On that note, guys, thank you very much. Till the next one. Peace.
Peace.
Kind of hoping it hits you in the head.